Hello folks, welcome back to the Edupedia world, and I am Abhinay Gupta. So today again we are continuing with the topic the Competition Act 2002. So far we have covered the introduction, we have covered the definitions, and then we have covered the provisions of section 7, 8, 9 and 10. Right? So in the today's lecture we will be covering section 15 and we will be doing the questions based on section 7 to 15. So that these sections are crisp and clear with you, right? And then henceforward we will continue with section 3, 11, 12 and stuff. And let me tell you, as I pointed out, the number of definitions and specific definitions that are very important and that has been asked in your examinations a number of times. Similarly, I'll point out that section 3 and section 11 are the top two most important section in this chapter. Top two. If you refer your practice manual, if you refer your past year questions, these are the two sections on which the institute has been continuously testing you. You can also flip through the RTPs and you'll find the same section being asked in the RTP. So section 3 and section 11 are the top two sections that you will have to do it from every angle, every corner of it. Right? Because our basic motive, like, see, if we are going for heavy chapters like the directors, if you're going for heavy chapters like SEBI, these chapters, although they cover a large portion of the marks, but it is difficult to score them. Like if you say that SEBI has a normal tendency of appearing for 8 marks in your examination, right? But SEBI is such a huge chapter, and if you go for selective study and you miss out on 2 sections and those 2 sections are asked in the examination, you lose out on all the 8 marks. Otherwise also, since it is a huge chapter, you're not able to cover each and every aspect of all the provisions of all the sections. So it becomes difficult. Even if you attempt both the 8 marks question, you may score 2 or 3 in each. So it comes out to 4 to 6. But for 4 to 6 marks, you will have to struggle a lot in your SEBI, right? But if you give a little bit of time in Competition Act, you can score 4 marks with a wink of an eye. Right? So try and understand these chapters, you don't consider them to be less important. Consider them to be more important because these are what will fetch you marks. At the end of the day, what you need is the marks. Right? So now we'll move ahead with the provisions. But before that, we'll go through a quick revision. So we had section 7, the establishment of the commission, of the Competition Commission of India. So we know it established by the central government via a notification in the official gazette. And its characteristics as a body corporate, we had all the characteristics similar to it. Right? We had nothing in section 7. Then we moved on to section 8, which talks about the composition of the commission, where we had 1 chairperson and 2 to 6 members. Right? And they will be appointed by the central government. Right? And if we talk about the qualification, we have seen that there is no specific qualification. They need at least 15 years of professional experience and knowledge about the various fields of international trade, economy, law, competition. Right? We have seen those things. And they will be under whole time employment. Right? Section 9 and section 10. Terms of office and selection of the chairperson and the members. So over here we saw another body, that is the selecting committee. Right? So the selection committee, we had seen its composition, that it consists of the Chief Justice of High Court as the chairperson and 4 other members, out of which 2 will be the expert having similar qualification as we had seen in the commission for the members, and the other 2 would be the Secretary of MC and the Secretary of ML and J, that is Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Ministry of Law and Justice. Right? So these will be the members. So what will they do is they will form the panel from which the central government would select the members for the commission. Right? The members of the commission will be selected, will be appointed for a tenure of 5 years, and they can be reappointed, but 65 will be the ceiling of the age till which they can be or they can hold the office. Right? And then we talked about the vacancy. All the vacancies will also be filled up by the central government as per the provision of 9 and 10, as we have seen already. Right? But in case of chairperson, if CG is taking some time to fill up the vacancy, so in the meanwhile, so that there is no interruption in the functioning of the commission, the senior most member of the commission would take the position of the chairperson, right? So that is what we had covered in the previous lecture. Now we'll move on to section 15, which talks about the vacancies. It says that the vacancies, or if you talk about the defect in appointment, defect in constitution, irregularities, these things will not invalidate the proceeding of the commission, right? So which means to say, if the commission, the competition commission has already entered into a proceeding is continuing, it's a continuous proceeding, and in the middle of that one of the member vacates the office, or the chairperson vacates the office, right? And then the proceeding concludes, right? And the other party, the opponent in the proceeding, right, then he wants to invalidate the proceeding basis that the member had vacated the office. The member who was actually referring, right, who was actually contending from the side of the commission has vacated the office, right? But section 15 says that nothing of that sort. Even if there is a vacancy in the commission, if there is any defect in the constitution of the commission, like the commission says, for example, that the person to be a part of the commission would have to have certain qualifications, right? They have to have knowledge and professional expertise of 15 years in different fields and stuff. Apart from that, if they have appointed somebody else with a lesser qualification, maybe somebody has an experience of 5 years and they were somehow enlisted in the panel and the CG has appointed them, so that is a defect in the constitution of the commission. So even if there is a defect in the constitution of commission, that will not affect the proceeding. Even if there is a defect in the appointment of a person as a chairman or the member of the constitution, it will not affect the proceeding. If there is any irregularity in the procedure of the commission, which is not affecting actually the merit of the case, even that will not invalidate the proceeding of the commission. So this is where section 15 puts a defense, right? So section 15 is a defensive section. So any proceeding in which the commission is a party will not be invalidated because of these stupid, silly things, right? So that is all section 15 wants to say, and that is all about the provisions we wanted to cover so far, right? So now in this lecture we will be dealing with the questions that have been asked from section 8, 9, 10 and 15 in your previous examinations, as well as your practice manual, right? So you have already seen that these sections are very easy sections, right? But still you have 5-7 questions asked in your examinations, and you also have 5-7 questions in your practice manual. You don't have a lot of questions in practice manual, but still out of them you have a distinctive quantity of these questions from these sections. So if it appears in your examination, it will be very easy for you to score. So please do not take it very lightly. Although it's an easy section, we will discuss with it, right? So now we'll start with questions based on section 9 and 10. So you can be asked the question to explain the provision relating to the office or filling up of vacancy or any of the terms that we have studied. You can simply be asked to explain the provision. That is one thing. Next, we'll be referring to a question that has been asked in your May 2007 exam, right? But that question is also present in your practice manual. If you download the latest practice manual from the institute's website, which is applicable for May 16 examination, right? Or if you have the new practice manual hard copy with you, just flip through that and you'll find the question number 7. That question number 7 in your practice manual is exactly the question that has been asked already in your examination in 2007, right? So you can understand that the questions that were being asked around 10 years back, those questions are still applicable in your practice manual. So these are also important for your examination point of view, right? So we'll refer to that question. So I'll read out the entire question. If you have your practice manual, you can refer to that. So it says that the Honorable Justice Mr. J.C.J., a retired High Court judge, attained the age of 61 on 31st December 2004. So the age defined over here with him is 61. He has already attained it, right? And the central government appointed him as the chairperson of the commission, of the Competition Commission of India, with effect from 1st January 2005. That means after he has attained the age of 61, he was appointed as a chairperson. right? That means when he has already stepped into the age of 62, right? Then it says you are required to state, with reference to the provision of the Competition Act 2002, the term for which he may be appointed as the chairperson of the Competition Commission of India, right? And whether he can be reappointed as such until when he can remain the chairperson of the Competition Commission of India. So it is very simple. He has already attained the age of 61, so he has just 4 years in his life that he can give to the Competition Commission. Just 4 years of service remaining. So if he's appointed, we know he's appointed for 5 years. So first of all, when he's appointed for his first tenure, he will not be able to complete his tenure instead. He will have to vacate office after 4 years, after he attains the age of 65. And if he is not able to complete his initial tenure, where does the question arise for his reappointment? So he will not be reappointed again, right? So how do you write? The answer is as given in a practice manual also. At first you will quote the provisions, right, about the terms of office that we have already discussed. The chairperson of every other member will hold office for 5 years. They are eligible for reappointment, second point, and then they will not hold office after they have attained the age of 65. So this is the provision of 9 and 10, and then keeping the provision in mind, Mr. JCJ can be appointed because he has not attained the age of 65, right? But he will have to vacate the office when he attains the age of 65, and he will not be reappointed as the chairman. So you see how simple are these questions. It is very simple, straightforward, plain questions, but you have to know. So I don't think after completing the class you will again have to flip through your books, right, to memorize or grab these sections. That is why we are giving it a little time, right, and we are trying to analyze all the aspects from all ends. That will help you to remember these sections till your examinations, because there is nothing difficult in it, right? Then you have one more question asked from these section in your 2011 examination, November 2011. So that was a very straightforward question asked in November 2011, right? It says that you will have to say, or instead it first gives you a case that the central government has appointed Mr. X, who has a certain age, 55, 56 something, right? And then this you will have to give the provisions, whether he can be appointed, what will be the tenure, right, whether he'll be reappointed. And then it is also, the question also goes on to say that if he resigns after 2 years, right, then can the vacancy be filled up by the chairman of the commission? Now it gives a specific question. Can chairman fill up the vacancy? The answer is no, because we know the vacancy, the casual vacancy, will also be filled up in the similar manner as appointment. So the central government will do that, and he will appoint members from the panel. It is as simple as that. So it is a simple, straightforward question. You will have to write down the 4 points and you will have to give your conclusion. Nothing else. It will not even take your time, right? But these are 4-mark questions. So you understand how beautiful these questions are. They will fetch you 4 marks straightforward. You will not have to give lengthy answers. It will not take your time in thinking. It will not take your time in writing, and it will not take your time in memorizing them. So these chapters are sure short chapters from where you will score 4 marks, right? Now we'll go on to the last question in your examination in the year 2009. And the similar question, same question, is also repeated in your practice manual. So if you flip to your practice manual, question number 11, that is the same question that has been already asked in June 2009, right? So again in that, and that question is very similar to the question that we have already discussed, that has appeared in your November 2011, right? So over there also we have the same thing, right? The name is changed. The central government recommended, central government on recommendation of committee appointed Mr. RKP, age 56 again, right? And over here you will have to state with reference the provisions of the Competition Act with reference to his appointment and whether he can be reappointment, and if he resigns after 2 years, whether the vacancy can be filled up by the chairman. And then you are further required to mention the composition of the selection committee on whose recommendation the central government appoints the chairman and the other members of the commission. So it is just one additional question. right? So you already know the answer. You will have to write down that he'll attain the age of 56, so he can be validly appointed, and if he vacates, the vacancy will be filled up by the central government. And the composition of the committee, you know, Chief Justice of India as chairperson, 2 ministers, Minister of MCA and Minister of ML&J, Ministry of Law and Justice, they will be the members of the selection committee, and 2 other members who will be expert in only those fields that we have already discussed. Same fields of expertise as discussed in the commission. Right? So it is as simple as that. Done. So these are the only type of questions that have been given in a practice manual, that has been given in an RTP, that has already appeared in your examination. So it is very simple. Right? Next, we'll see the questions based on section 15. Right? So section 15 is also a very small section you've already seen. In one statement, the entire section is over. But again, you have a 4-mark question on section 15 that has appeared in your exam twice. The same question has appeared twice in your exam, and back to back, November 2006 and again May 2007. Back to back, same question was repeated in your examination, and the same question is also available in a practice manual. Right? So you see, I have already shown you 3-4 questions from the practice manual. Right? So there's one more question from section 8. Right, that I'll discuss, that is in your practice manual. That is the same question that we discussed while we were doing section 8. So if you refer to your first question in the practice manual, the question says, how will the chairperson and other member of the Competition Commission of India be appointed? That is the first question in the practice manual. That is the first question we discussed while we were doing section 8. Right, now we are coming to question number, we are coming to the provisions of section 15. We are coming to the questions on section 15. So the question, if you have your practice manual, you can refer to them. I'm talking about question number 6 from your practice manual. Mr. ZPM was appointed as a member of the Competition Commission of India by central government. He has a professional experience in the international business for 12 years. Professional experience, good. International business, again good. But 12 years, right? Circle that. Now, which is not a proper qualification for appointment of a person as member. Okay, the question itself says, okay, it is not proper. It has to be 15, it is 12. Then, pointing out the defect in the constitution of the commission, Mr. YJK, against whom the commission gave a decision, wants to invalidate the proceeding of the commission. Examine with reference to the provision of the Competition Act whether Mr. YKJ will succeed. He will not. A simple, straightforward answer, he will not. Why? Because section 15 says that no proceeding of the commission shall be invalid by reason of any vacancy, by reason of any defect in constitution, defect in appointment, or irregularity in procedure. They have already declared that this will not be entertained. So it will not be entertained. So what you write? You will write down that provision of section 15 and you will say, please sir, go back home. It's done. Right? So that is it. So you see how easy these sections are. So section 8, 9, 10, 15 and section 7. I think these sections are on your fingertips by now. Right? And you also remember the definitions. For definition classes, I will recommend you please watch those classes twice. It will not take more than, you can increase the speed on your YouTube or on your classes over here. Right? You can increase the speed, you can see the classes, but refer to those classes twice. That will help you memorize the entire definition. You will not have to look at the book again. Right? So we have done the provisions. So half of the sections are cleared over here. The important sections from where you have been asked questions. Right? And then we'll continue with 2-3 more lectures and we'll cover up the entire important portion. Right? So that will be all for the day, and stay tuned for the next lecture where we'll be discussing the next provisions of the next sections. So until then, this is Abhinay Gupta signing off. Thank you.